and firmware, right? So we can divide the main software into three major components. That is system software. System software means the system can be used this software, right? System maintenance. The purpose, the software is used to maintain the system or running the system, right? Due to that, the name comes system software. It can be look after the system, right? The purpose of this one is look after the system or running the system. Second one, application software. What are the applications? Anyhow, what's the purpose of this application? We can say that is the application software. So we can further divide this application software. One is program. All of the programs will come to say program software. And second, applications. Applications means what's our purpose, what's our needs. So we can use one application, that is application. Say Word is one application, Excel is one application, PowerPoint, CorelDRAW, PageMaker, so Flash, whatever application we are using through the computer, that is the special application. Or in our needful, I personally create one software for my office maintenance, one personal software for my shop maintenance, one my business purpose. So everything come to application packages, right? So software can be classified, one system software, second one application software, third one firmware. Firmware means that is not only the software, right? Firmware means not only the software, with the hardware device, software system should be burned, right? Software system should be burned. That combination of hardware plus software, we can say firmware. So normally, the common, very famous example, ROM chip. ROM chip means read-only chipset, right? In the read-only chipset, we are using step-by-step command. When you switch on the computer, in the black screen, some white letter is come out, right? After that, it can be the system software. What's the initial step? What are the devices is connected to the system? So these are the very basic instructions, and load them, load the operating system. So it can be done using the firmware. It can be done by firmware, right? So the main classes of software we can divide it into three. One is system software. System software means it can be look after the system. It can be run to the system. So look after and run, right? So especially the system software, we can classify, major classification of system software. First one, operating system, right? So if we are using a computer, definitely we want to use one operating system, one OS. What is the OS, right? Which OS we are using, right? Operating system. Now, what's the latest operating system in Windows? What's the version of latest OS? Windows 11, right? Genuine Windows 11, and a corrupted one is also available. So Windows 11, Windows 10, right? Windows 11, Windows 10. So when they are starting that period, the Windows 1.1, 1.2, and so on up to, right? So now we are in the stage of Windows 11, right? So utility program means we can use this program to periodically maintain the system. Say system cleanup, defragmentation, scan disk. So scan disk means it can be arrange the file one after the other, right? It can be arrange the file one after the other. So normally in the utility program, when we are talking about this utility program, one of the utility program is disk scanning, right? Disk scanning, say normally in the hard disk, right? Normally the hard disk is like this shape, right? Right? Normally the surface, right? The hard disk surface is like this. So hard disk contain not only one surface, so it can be contained more than, so I had a problem to draw a surface like this. It's not good. Anyhow, I can remove this, right? So second surface, then third surface, all the surfaces are running in the middle rotator, right? Say for example, in this surface, so we can store the program in the top and bottom. So if you take the first surface, right? If you take the first surface or second surface or third surface, in this first surface, we can read two heads. So the first head read the information like this, right? The first head is this way, right? It can be read upper portion of the data, and the second surface, right? That is the bottom part of the first disk, right? So I release the second, third surface. So only consider one surface. In this surface, right? In this surface, there are two disks, right? Two heads. This is one head, and another head, it can be read in the bottom, right? It can be read in the bottom, right? Say there are two heads, right? Up and down. The surface is like this, right? The surface is like this. The surface is like this. The heads are moving this way, right? Heads are moving this way. One is in the top, one is in the bottom, right? There are two heads for each surface, right? Each surface, there are two heads. So the heads can be moved here and there to retrieve the files, Say here, the files can be stored cluster by cluster, right? The file can be stored cluster by cluster in this surface. So there are so many clusters, not only 1, 2, 3. So number of circles, right? Number of circles. So each circles we can divide at sectors, right? In this sector, right? In this sector, say we can assume the size of this sector is 512 KB, right? right? 512 KB. Say one sector size is 512. Now we can assume our size of the file, or the file capacity is more than 1.5 GB. The file capacity is this one is not KB, this one is MB, right? Sorry, this is not KB, this one is MB. Sorry, this is okay, KB, kilobyte. The file size is 3000 bytes or something, right? So this file size is 6 times bigger than this one, right? 6 times bigger than this one. Then we can save one file. We want to save one file using, there are 6 clusters. We want to use, there are 6 clusters. It's like one. Then we want to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 portions, right? We want to say there are 6 different portions. 1 minute. Say we can save the files one after the other. So if you want to save the file in the sequence order, so first file is here, second file is here, third file is here, fourth one is here, fifth one is here, or first file is here, second file is here, third file is here, fourth, fifth, sixth. When we are storing the data in a continuous way, in a sequence order, then we can get it back. We can return the file as soon as possible, right? We can return the file very fast. So the performance of the computer should be fast, right? The performance of the computer should be fast. When we are using a mobile phone or when we are using a computer, in the initial stage, what do you feel? The performance is good, right? What do you feel? The performance is good. Okay, satisfactory. When you are using the mobile phone or when you are using the computer closer to 6-month period, what do you feel? The performance remaining same or the performance comes down? What is the observation? Normally, when you are using a mobile phone or when you are using a laptop or desktop, in the initial stage, in the starting stage of the computer, the performance is comparably good, is fast. Okay, it satisfies our expectation, right? Normally, you can feel like that. So when we are using the computer, maybe 6-month period, you can store some data, maybe you can remove some data, you can update the computer, but the performance of the computer maybe comes down, right? Maybe comes down, not look like the initial stage when you are using the computer. What's the reason? What's the performance will come down? Why? What are the reasons? The performance will decrease. So if you have any idea, you can talk directly or chat. Why? The performance will come down. What's the reason? Yeah, temporary files increase, right? Increase the temporary files. So the temporary files is increased. Why the performance of the computer should be decreased? What's the reason? It's not loaded no, when we are using the hard disk. The hard disk can contain temporary files, so unwanted files, unwanted media, so many things is available in our hard disk. So when we are switch on the computer, the operating system only loaded, right? The operating system only loaded So operating system and the other stuff. What are the application if you want? So simultaneously running application should be run in the memory. So if you can store the files in the hard disk, it not loaded. Why the performance come down? So when we are using or when we are trying to get one file, it may be take more time. Why? Yeah, that is one type of unused means that means so there is one type of virus, no? So without thinking mm, affected by virus or anything, when we are using your mobile phone or your laptop or your desktop, the initial performance you can't get it back within 1 year later. Can you feel everyone? Maybe I think everyone you can realize. Initial stage, my mobile phone is okay, but nowadays I had a problem. It cannot open. It's not working in my speed. So I am struggling when I am using this laptop or desktop. Can normal day to day life you can realize this? Am I correct? Is it correct? Mm, no, no. Actually, charge
In
is
order of
the processor. It may be create more heat rather than when we are purchasing time. So that is depend on the processor. Actually, one thing. Actually, not. This is the one thing. One thing for decreasing the performance of the computer in the initial stage. In the initial stage, hard disk, most of the portions are empty. So only the hard disk reserve for system software portion. So what is the operating system portion and the utility program? So some of the stuff they can capture, right? It should capture limited space of the hard disk, and then we want to use some application software, say Word, Excel, PowerPoint, whatever we can load. That's all. After that, we can save the files. We can save the file. So in my result, so what's our thing? I got the results in order to saving in disk, right? In order to saving in disk. So when we are saving a file, the file sequence should be saved. In the initial stage, the file is empty, right? Most of the disks are empty. If you want to save the file capacity is 3000 KB. Then we can save one after the other, right? The file can be saved in a sequence order. When we want to get the file back, when we want to withdraw the file back, if you want to get it out, so we can link the file one after the other. What are the continuous 6 sequence of the files? So the files are in an order. The files are in an order. There is no problem. We can get the files very fast, very fast. But if you are saving this file first time and you can delete the file, right? Several files you can save and you can delete the file. What's happened? The pointer says these portions are empty, right? These portions are now empty. You can reutilize or you can utilize. So sometimes you can delete some files and you can add some files. Every day to day life, we can delete some files and add files, right? Due to that, some files may be deleted and says these are the pointers now empty. Maybe some files comes added, so due to that, that file should be rewritten. What are the pointers should be 0. So that file should be rewritten in that area. When we are writing the files and delete some files and rewritten the files order not like in the sequence. It may be in the random files. So in the sector, maybe one file save here, one file save here, right? One file may be saved here, right? One file may be saved here. One file may be saved backside of this portion. One sector may be say another surface. So wherever the empty space is available, the file can go to store that places, right? So if you want to get the file back, so the first segment, this one can be read, and then the second segment can be linked with the link file, and second segment can be read the second portion of the file, not complete one file. If you read one file, the first segment should be read from this, and the second segment should be read from this. Third segment should be read from this. Fourth segment, another surface. So when the file store several portions of the disk, or there are not a sequence order, it can be stored in random format. So then we can get the files one after the other. It may be take more time than the files are stored in a sequence order. Due to that, one retrieval delay will come. When we are get the file back, the file may be stored here and there. There are several sectors, so then we can withdraw the file. It may be take time to get the file back. If you want to sort out this issue, so disk defragmentation. So one utility program says disk defragmentation. It can be arrange the files in a sequence order, right? So sometimes when you are using your computer more than 6 months or 9 months, periodically you can scan the file and you can say put disk defragmentation. When you are putting the disk defragmentation, it will take 6 hours or 8 hours time to complete the task, because it can be arranged all the data in your hard disk in a sequence order. Wherever the space is available, wherever possible to arrange the file continuously, it can rearrange. When you are putting periodically scan disk and arrange the file using the disk defragmentation, the performance of the computer should be go up, right? That is one reason you can increase the performance of the computer. So in mobile phone, I don't know, the disk defragmentation strategy is not available. So normally we are not using files. No, we are using messages and images, right? Say this is one type of issue. Due to this type of problem, the performance of the computer may be come down, right? Maybe come down, right? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah, that's why, because when we are storing the file in the surface, very first time, so in the initial stage of the computer, most of the disk space, right? Otherwise many of the disk space may be empty. We can store the data one after the other in a sequence way, right? In a sequence way. Could you consider the size look like this? Then you can store the data one after the other, or in the sequence way. When we want to retrieve these files, or when we want to use this file, the file should be loaded in the memory RAM. So we want to get it back. We want to withdraw the file. So when we are using to withdraw the file, the first sector should be loaded, and then second sector should be loaded. If the files are in a sequence order, or like this, right? In the bit surface, or in the shape of cone shape, in between one after the other. If it is arranged in a sequence order, the heads cannot be moved here and there. It can be slightly moved one after the other. It can retrieve. So due to this movement, head movement can take delay time. The files can be arranged in a continuous way, then it can get it back immediately. So files are saved here and there, then every time head will move and take it out. Head will move and take it out. Due to this head movement, time will take. So that type of delay is also added. If you want to decrease the head movement time, how can we say we can arrange the files in a sequence order, one after the other, or the head movement comes to reduce, then only the file will get it out fast, right? So due to that, we can use the disk defragmentation. The main aim of the disk defragmentation, arrangement of files in a sequence order. We want to retrieve the files as soon as possible. So due to that, we can use disk defragmentation, right? So that can be arrange the files in a sequence order. Why this type of issue is come? When we are storing a file and we can delete the file. So that pointer says these are the location empty. Next time we are saving 10 files. Sometime we can remove 3 files. No need. We can delete the files. So sometime we can save 100 photos. Then we can delete several photos. No need. So every day to day life, what shall we do? We can save some photos, save some files, we can delete the files. Each and every time we can save the file should be saved in the hard disk. The size of the file may be 10 MB file. The cluster size is 512 KB. Then we can divide 20 clusters. It should be saved one after the other. We want to save the 10 MB file using 20 clusters, right? So each and every cluster should be linked with link address, right? So when we load the file, the first file should be go, first cluster should be go, second cluster, third cluster, fourth cluster, up to 20 sequence of cluster we want to use it, we want to move it to the RAM. So head can be moved here and there. To withdraw this cluster, it will take time. We want to reduce this time. What shall we do? We can arrange the files in a sequence order. Due to that, we are using scan disk and disk defragmentation strategy only for this. Is it okay? So actually I had a problem to draw the map. When I am drawing the map, then I can easily say the disk can move like this and the sector like this.
Very
Right?
important.
Shall I move? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Right? So in this utility program can include scan disk defragmentation. These are the method will come in the utility program, right? A system software. This type of software is program contribute to control and performance of the computer system. This type of software is program contribute to control and performance of the computer system. These programs are given elect, name, and system. So, could you see the messages come one after the other? Huh? Are you using any group messages? Group chatting? Say, what's the very famous operating system in the computers? Normally, what is the most popular operating system? Normally, what are the operating system we are using? Windows. So in the Windows operating system, there are several versions, right? There are several versions, but we are using Windows. We are using Windows. Say initially we can say the first operating system, that is DOS. DOS means disk operating system, right? In the black and white screen, we want to type anything, command, right? DOS means disk operating system. So if you want to copy the data, type in which folder to which folder we want to copy. Put the command copy. If you want to paste, put the command paste. If you want to move, put the command move. So the disk operating system, you can memorize. You can memorize all the command. If you know the command, then only you can move, you can copy, you can paste, you can work anything. If you want to know the command, then only you can work with the computer. So in the initial stage of the computer, some problem happen. Why? If you want to interact the computer or if you want to use the computer, if you know the commands, then only you can work with the computer. If you forget about some commands, if you forget one or two commands, then you are struggling to copy, paste, move, save. Everything has some problem, right? So if you know the command, then only you can work with the computer. That is the first computer using disk operating system. After that, so the disk operating system is not possible or not suitable to you all, because nowadays why we are thinking we don't want to save anything in our mind. If you want to save anything in our mind, we are not ready to save anything in our mind. So say for simple example, right? Why I am saying we don't want to save anything in our mind. So bank issue to you one ATM card or one credit card, and they will send it to you one secret code. Not only at the issuing time, they will send it back, or the secret code will be come throughout another department. So there is no contradiction, there is no link between the issuing department and the code supplying department. So these are the two separate departments. After that, when we are receiving the card as well as when we are receiving the code, what shall we do? What shall we do? At the 100% purely, can you say how many of you can save the credit card password or your ATM card password in your mind? How many of you have your mind? I think most probably 90% of the users, they are used to save their password in their mobile phone. So if you want to check, so you can check ATM password, it will come ATM password. If you want to check credit card password, it will come. Your mobile phone, you can have everything. So what's the purpose? What's the purpose? Keep the code secretly? Is it the way? So we are nowadays, we are not interested to keep no more single word in our mind. We can try to use anything, try to save in our mobile. So tomorrow 6 to 7 class, okay, put one reminder. Put reminder, 6 to 7, wake up to me. So 7 o'clock we want to go there. So save reminder. If you want to use ATM card, ATM pin number. So sometime if you are using HMB card, commercial card or People's Bank card, so say BOC, BOC ATM pin, PET ATM pin, so cash line ATM pin. What's the purpose? if you missed your mobile phone, and your ATM card, the thief have the chance to go to access your ATM card as well, right? So nowadays we are not interested to keep one single word, even if your mail password or LMS password, whatever will come, you are not interested to keep. Why? If you want to use your mail password, you can use the password what is in your heart. Sometimes something in your heart, no. So never can't erase the words you have, no. So you have some words or you have some person, you had a problem to remove it from your heart. Whatever words it's in your heart, or you never failed in your memory. Say one or two words, say your father name or your mother maiden name. So everything is in your heart, no? You never forget that name, no? I think sometimes you misunderstand to me. Huh? What are the names in your heart? Then you can simply think about your boyfriend or girlfriend. No, I am not talking like that. I am trying to say whatever name in your heart, your father name, your mother maiden name, right? All these person names are in our heart, no? My brother name, my sister name, right? So you can use some names, right? Something. Most, I think 75% of the mail password should be your NIC number, otherwise mobile number. How many of you agree my statement is correct or not? Your NIC number or your mobile number, is it correct or not?
No.
75% of the mail password look like this. Agree or not? What do you feel? Most probably like this or not? Hello? Anyone say, is it possible or not? So that's why. So what's the purpose we are using the password? We are using the password. No one can judge. No one can imagine. No one can track. So if you are using your mobile phone or if you are using your NIC number, that is the password of your secret one, no point of view. Anyhow, no point of view. Otherwise, date of birth. Mobile number or NIC number is not possible, then the third chance, it should be your date of birth, right? So don't give the chance. When you are using, these are the your password, then no point of view. So anyhow, you can create a secret password, then you can use the password in a separate book or notebook. That notebook or book, you never take it out anywhere. It can be kept in your room or safe. So nowadays, some banks, they can change time to time. Time to time, they can change their password. So 2 month period, your password should be expired, change the password, right? Your password should be expired, change the password. You have to change the password. Then only some banks should be allowed to use the system, right? But if you are using the password one time, you can't use the password second time. When you are using the previous password, you can get the message, you can't use this password because this password is already used previously. Try to use some new password. Your password contain one capital letter, some small letter, some special characters, some numbers all together. If you are using 8 characters, then only the password should be a little bit strong. If you are using 10, 12 characters, so it should be strong password. Try to go strong. Try to go strong. So anyhow, password is password. It's not the common word, right? So most of your password may be try to open. Why? It may be NIC number, mobile number, or your date of birth. So it's not the password. That's why I am talking, right? This is not the password. More than 75% it should be worth throughout using these three data, right? So please, in the initial stage, you can change, right? Otherwise, it's create problem in the long run, right? If anyone, they want to track your mail or see your secret, how many of you know you are using one mobile phone, right? That mobile phone linked with your email address, right? If anyone track your email, they can put the command to the dial-up system, then simply they can convert it, your SMS messages to the email, right? The message is not go to your mobile number, so they can read one after the other sequence of messages in the email. So simply they can capture the password, mail password, then they can divert the SMS. Every SMS will come to your mail. So they can misuse. So many ways is available, right? So when you are using the password, so nowadays we don't have anything in our hand. So why we want to worry? No problem. If you have bank balance, or if you have some secret chat, if you have some secret link, or anyhow, you can safeguard your side, right? Otherwise, anyone can access using this. Okay. Yes. Yes. Which one? Which area? No, no, no. Defragmentation is the arrangement of file. When you are putting defragmentation, it can be arrange the files. When you are doing this defragmentation, sometime the defragmentation says this file should be corrupted, right? This file should be corrupted. Due to that, the file should be moved in the sequence location. When we are using the hard disk, some portions of the hard disk may be 1 year or 2 year, it may be damaged, right? Some sector or some cluster portion may be damaged. Due to that, we can retrieve it back, right? So that type of files that can be detected in red color or red portion. So that is not the problem of disk defragmentation. That's the problem of hard disk. Your hard disk is going to death or starting to death, right? It can be increased. The death sector can be increased. The unmoved sector can be increased. That is one symptom. Your hard disk may be going to death, right? So the disk defragmentation never do the thing. Your hard disk, some sector may be, so 5 years when we are using your hard disk, some portions of the segment can't move the file here to there, right? 7 years, the 7 years later, or another 2 more years, the unmoved sector, it can be increased, right? So that is the one symptom your hard disk may going to death. Okay. So period, if you are using a personal computer or any other computer in your house, so periodically within 2 months or 3 months time, you can put disk defragmentation, right? It can be arrangement of files, right? Arrangement of files, and you can remove unwanted files, temporary files or something, right? So in the initial stage of the computer, that is the DOS, disk operating system, right? Disk operating system, no more mouse, only keyboard, right? If you want to do anything, the task should be typed. Then only the computer should be work. Otherwise, Windows 95, right? Not 98, Windows 95. That is the first event-driven program. Event-driven program. No more command. No more command. We can use the mouse. We can use the mouse, and here and there we can move. And menu, every menu is available. Cut, copy, paste, or whatever tools we want. We can use the tools. We can using the mouse and event-driven program, right? Initially, Windows 95 started, we can use the event-driven program, and up to now we are using Windows 11, right? That is the Windows upgrading. So what do you feel? Only Windows is the one and only one operating system available in the world? So Windows is one type of operating system. Another type of operating system, Mac. If you are using an Apple computer, the Apple OS totally different from Windows. That is Macintosh operating system. Shortened form for Macintosh, we can say Mac, right? Mac OS, Macintosh operating system. So another one operating system is Linux, right? Otherwise, sometimes we can say Red Hat, right? Red Hat, Linux, Unix. Earlier, the Red Hat is the open source, free, open source. After that, they are modified, and nowadays the Linux, Unix, everything pay channel, right? So Windows, Macintosh, Linux, right? So in our mobile phone, when we are using Samsung or Huawei, Oppo, Vivo, what's the operating system we are using? Android OS, right? Android OS, time to time, the version is coming. So we can say not only we can say the producer, they will put one nice name, right? Strawberry, Blackberry, whatever the name they are calling, that name is the version of Android. Any other operating system is available in the mobile phone? Without Android, any other operating system is available in the mobile sector? No one knows.
iOS.
If you are using iPhone, what is the OS? iOS. So these are the two operating systems available. iOS and Android. In the mobile field, iOS and Android, these are the only two mobile platforms. So last 3 years back, only two operating systems, no more, right? iOS and Android. After that, some problem happened in Huawei. Due to that, they created their own operating system, HMS, right? They created their own operating system, HMS, right? So these are the three operating systems available in mobile industry. Right? So system software, operating system, and then here utility and service program. In the utility and service program, one utility is data recovery. Sometime if you have a problem to using your laptop or desktop, what shall we do? We can try to put 1 week previously, 1 week before, you can put 1 day, try to get the recovery of that particular date, right? Recovery software. You can use to get the recovery software to get it back 1 week or 1 day back recovery, data recovery software, backup software, disk management, that is disk defragmentation, disk cleaning, disk scanning, right? In this disk management program is to perform and format the disk and include disk scanning, cleaning, disk defragmentation, right? Scanning, cleaning, and disk defragmentation. So scanning, it can be scanned. What about the present stages of the segment, right? Cleaning, it can be clean it out, temporary files and unwanted files or already deleted files, whatever available in the recycle bin. It can be clean it out. And defragmentation, it can be arrange the files, try to arrange the files maximum in a sequence order, right? It helpful to us to get it back as soon as possible. So the hard disk heads movement can be reduced due to this defragmentation. The heads alignment here and there movement can be reduced, right? Screensaver is prevailing the monitor display screen from being, say, when you are using without screensaver, your screen should consume more power. When you are using screensaver, it can be protected to use that much of power. Less power only used by screensaver, right? Okay, that's all. We'll see in the next class. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
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 Thank you, sir.